traditional broadcast television model will crumble as we move to video on demand services completely, and that will create a whole renaissance for the advertising industry as we figure out how to connect with consumers in a non-broadcast television model.
We're going to start associating a lot of the data that we have and the behavioral data that we have from all the digital interactions that people have, and start to marry that with human input so that we can take the best of both worlds and use both of their positive attributes to advance the industry.
The future of our industry is really based on three denominators. Number one, it's data. Secondly, we believe it's about ongoing measurement based on platforms. That's the part of the digitization, actually, of our industry. But last and not least, it's about people.
Companies, including Mars, we're going to get our heads around how technology can help drive our strategy, rather than let our strategy be driven by technology. So when that becomes an enabling force, I think you'll really see companies embrace this and add value to the consumer experience.
Advertising insights, analytics, and researchers are going to be the most revered by 2020 because they're going to be the ones who are driving us to think beyond advertising to really value creation.
I think the research is going to get a lot faster, a lot cheaper. So I actually think ultimately there'll be a lot more research going around.
It's going to be more data-driven, more analytics-driven, and I think top marketers are going to be coming from the ranks of researchers more and more.
Advertisers across all industries will start investing more in advertising, given the findings that advertisers should be spending $31 billion more a year across platforms, given the high ROI we see across all platforms.
We are completely and totally mixed up. There is no one thing. Culture is everything and will continue to drive culture everywhere.
Content is going to be consumed on multiple devices, and the trick is to reach people at the appropriate time and the appropriate place on the right device.
The need for shorter surveys, more mobile surveys, capturing their intent to purchase and their intent to repurchase while in store via their mobile device, I think is going to become more and more critical in the year ahead.
The evolution of advertising from being a one-way communication to much more of a dialogue with the consumers, and really using the different sort of media channels for different messaging to drive home our points, I think is very much one of the futures we see at Colgate.
They're all about automation and working out the best and smartest ways to get at the right insight, those nuggets. And then at the back end, you've got a much higher end consultancy. In the middle stuff, machines can do that.
I think that neuroscience-based methods are going to become more and more important as we go forward.
I predict next year that we'll get back to basics. I think we're getting overly complicated on a lot of things, big data, going really deep on things, that's great. But I think there's a big opportunity to also just step back and look at what your brand is about and make sure that that's clear within your organization.
Companies of all kinds, whether it's agencies or clients, are going to be expected to do good for the world.